Hello, everyone. So as you've been listening to everyone else's presentation, and now you'll be listening to mine, I want you all to think about just how important language is. How is it that you can instantaneously understand me and be able to immediately answer if I ask you to? Now, the two most important parts of the brain associated with language are Wernicke's area and Broca's area. Wernicke's area is used mostly for the understanding of language, while Broca's area is used mostly for speech formation. So let's say you wanted to read something out loud. It would first come into your visual cortex, and then go to Wernicke's area, where you would understand the words that you've just read. It would then move over to Broca's area, where the words would be formed in your head in order for you to repeat them out loud. And lastly, it would go to your motor cortex, where your muscles would move in order to produce the sounds. Now, the same thing would happen if you were in a conversation with someone. It's just the auditory cortex would also be involved. But what's so impressive about the brain is that it can decipher different meanings in sentences with just different stresses on words. For example, the sentence, "I never said she stole my money," can be taken 7 different ways, depending on which of the 7 words is stressed. For example, "I never said she stole my money" can mean that Brian said she stole my money. But "I never said she stole my money" can mean she stole my calculator instead. But how is language developed in humans? Why do we say that younger children are more capable of learning language? Well, before I was born, my parents actually went to a linguist, and they asked him, how can we teach our son both Greek and English so that he's fluent in both languages and doesn't get confused between them? So the linguist told him, okay, whoever's better at Greek speaks only Greek, whoever's better in English speaks only English, so that he sees them as 2 separate entities and could easily differentiate between them. So even until today, 20 years later, I only speak to my mother in English and only to my dad in Greek, even though they're both fluent in both languages. But what's important at this young age is how the phonemes are ingrained in a child's brain. For example, the TH sound in English, also known as the dental fricative, because it's only made with your tongue and your teeth and doesn't actually involve any sound coming out of you, is only present in 5 languages in the whole world. So if an adult from another country was to come to the United States and try to learn English, they would have trouble with words such as three or thorough, which use that TH sound, therefore developing an accent. What if we go back to my life, and when at 5 years old, my family and I moved to Germany. And we were there for 3 years, and within 3 to 4 months, I was able to converse with everyone in my class, or my kindergarten class at least, but my parents were in their 40s, so they weren't that lucky. At the end of 3 years, I was fluent. They were lucky to have left there with just a handful of words. But even to use myself as a control, when I came back to America and started taking Spanish at 11, 12 years old, even after 7 years of Spanish, I'm still not fluent, just showing how important it is to learn a language at a younger age. But what has been found in bilinguals? Why are bilinguals so special? Well, bilinguals have been found to be better at multitasking and also to be able to solve logic problems more efficiently. Being bilingual has also been shown to delay the symptoms of diseases such as Alzheimer's disease. But what scientists don't know is where in the brain these languages are stored. Is one stored in the left hemisphere and one stored in the right hemisphere? They're not really sure. But what they have found is that when a speaker that is native to one language speaks that language, they show activity primarily in their left hemisphere of their brain. So as you can see here in this University of California, San Diego study, a native Spanish speaker shows a lot more activity in their left side of their brain when speaking Spanish. But when also asked to speak English, which in this case is secondary language, you see a lot more activity in the right side of the brain as well, as shown by those green arrows. So as we could see in such an interdisciplinary and diversified world, just how important it might be to be bilingual. If we were able to promote this bilingual culture at younger ages, when learning languages is more efficient, it would be more beneficial to society in the long run. Thank you very much.